So what do you call it when like a prime minister and president, they're like, you know, like sometimes they meet, they're like forced to hang out?
Yep. Yeah, what do you call it?
It's a government mandate.
Classic Joey. Anyway, episode 23 of the MacPack Podcast.
G'day and welcome to the MacPack Podcast.
We're back.
My name's Jakey McKenna, and this week, in order of most Italian-looking brothers, it's my little brother Joe. How are you, boy?
It's a me, Joe.
And to my right, this week, coming in at 6'1", as he does every single week, it's the baby brother. How are you, junior boy?
I got the biggest mustache right now out of the three of us boys.
Wait, Jake.
False,
here?
fake
No.
news. Fake
Jake's
news.
is way bigger.
Fake news. Fake news.
Yours is more of a shadow.
Boys, today on the show, we're going to be chatting season 2. We've done it a few times before, but we've actually got it launched. We want to thank everybody, so we'll be doing a little bit around that. We've got a bit of a discussion about the AFL. It's back. Footy. It's literally started, when this comes out, it will start on the night before. Joe, you played in the chess
The big
competition.
chestnut, the real sports
Check,
talk.
which
Mate.
is absolutely massive. We've got a funny new game, which is different to yours, but probably more fun as well.
Oh.
And rather, you got a hot take. It's a massive hit. Let's get it. So, boys,
We're back.
are we TikToker famous yet, Junior boy?
Oh, I wish.
What the bloody hell's been going on there, mate?
Look, I mean, it's gone alright. Our first video popped off.
First video
We
went
went viral.
First video went okay.
It was nuts.
It was a couple. What we get a couple hundred people.
Well, yeah, I think right now it's like 800, 900 views.
That's all right. You
Not
take.
bad.
I don't know what that means. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. It was on my For You page.
We had a pretty good. We had a very good catch, Joe. We had a good week essentially. With downloads, we actually had a record number of downloads. So thank you everybody at home. Whether you're listening on the audio channels, iTunes, and Spotify, or whether you tuned into the YouTube video, which went out on Saturday.
Yeah, everyone seemed to like the YouTube video.
Saturday morning. There was. Have you had people?
Some of my
comment?
mates were talking to me about, at one point, apparently in the last podcast, one of you starts telling a story and then I'm looking at it and then I just look dead at the lens like really quick for a second.
Jim the camera.
Yeah, I jimmed the camera really quickly and it looked how scary apparently.
Saucy. Well, hope for a bit of that tonight. We've got we've hit 2,000 downloads as well over the week, which was it was a secret plan that we had. It was a secret goal of ours for the week. We predicted it would happen probably on the Sunday. So to get it out, I think it happened Friday night. It happened like Friday midnight.
Yeah, Friday. Like I went to bed and I saw we were on like 1,996 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the morning it was at like 208. 2,008.
208.
We went down. It was
So many people deleting. We're
They-
losing listens.
they
It was
listened-
mental.
They listened to it in reverse.
Like when you
Like-
wind back your car.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But yes.
Fuel this podcast off.
So it's gone well, and the exciting thing about this week, this will obviously come out on the Friday as it does every week, and Saturday for the visual stuff. We're going to put out, we've got Mitchy dog. We've got Mitchy, the blue collar dog.
Mitchy boy.
When is this dropping?
His season 2 debut. He's been waiting for this day.
Now a couple
For a
weeks,
long
a
time
couple would have been a couple weeks, maybe a month ago now that
Month and a half,
we
yeah.
first
spoke to
we
him.
first mentioned Mitchy on the pod, and it came out. It was very organic. We literally discussed it together, and we were like, "Oh, it would be good to." You told us a bit about him, what he was going to do.
One of the fans wrote in and like asked a question. He was like,
That's right,
talk
Cade.
about- yeah, Cade was like, talk about the boys behind the blue collar dogs. And
Yeah, that's right. And
Oh,
then
Cade was the inceptor.
Cade's our
Jake
marketing
was like,
manager.
Jake was like, what is it? And then I showed him his YouTube channel, and then
Yeah, we basically from then on we were just like,
sparks flew.
And for
let's
those
see
who
how we
don't
can get on
know,
board.
what is the blue collar dogs?
Well, the blue collar dogs,
They're an animation team. They're basically baby Pixar.
they're about to go wild as well. We've got their video would have come out. I think we put it out
Thursday
Thursday night. Do you want to do it?
night, yeah.
Let's do it Thursday night. Well, we saw this thing over a week ago. We had our
It was the chess day.
yes. We'll get to
Yeah,
that in a sec.
big day.
Last Wednesday was a huge day. A week ago today,
Yeah.
short week. It feels weird.
Hump day.
Yeah, it doesn't feel fair to have a hump day after 2 days. It feels like we've sort of cheated the system.
Yeah.
But yes, so yeah, we had a big schedule for what we wanted to release for season 2. So everything was really planned and banked, and we had it all ready to go working for us.
We may seem very like natural and off the cuff, but
probably
no,
the-
we know exactly what's gonna
It's probably the most
happen at
planned.
every second.
It's probably the most planned we'd been. But we had everything day by day. We knew what we were going to do. And we had it in the works that Mitchy was going to send us, Mitchy from the Blue Collar Dogs was going to send us this video in a couple of weeks' time. And we were just going to share it whenever. Firstly, incredible.
Yeah.
It's an
lack of
incredible
words.
video.
Oh yeah, it's like, so for those of you who've never seen his work, so
Just quickly, no, it'll be out now. So if you haven't seen it, quickly jump on
yeah.
Instagram. We're going to set up an IGTV, basically like a season for it. It'll be huge, and it's going to be on what's that other thing we do? YouTube as well.
YouTube, yeah, that
it'll be on the
YouTube
YouTube as well. So just honestly, pause the pod. We very rarely would say this. Pause the pod. Go watch the fucking video. It's elite.
It's sick.
We were
so funny.
We were stunned. He sent through a clip to begin. He's obviously done the animations of what we look like and whatnot. And we were like, oh, they're fucking
they're
tight.
sick.
Like I don't know how he's been able to get them so accurate.
Prior to this has been spoiler free,
Yeah.
but maybe this is your warning. Go and watch it now.
Yep.
And we're entering spoiler territory.
Spoiler territory.
So if you want to go in
Spoiler
dry, go in now. But now we're going to be talking about the actual video itself.
Now, you sent it. So he sent through the photo on the. He sent through
The thumbnail.
He done the photos of us, and we thought they were fucking sick.
Yeah.
Then he went and did the thumbnail for the video,
Yeah.
and I've gone, that's incredible. That's way more than I thought we were gonna get out of
Yeah.
this.
He sent it. Me and Jake were on the phone at the time, and he sent the photo. I was like, damn, that looks like so good.
Jake just spilling beer
It's a
everywhere.
run
It's
back to season 1.
It's a callback. So we see the photo come through in the text chat, and I'm like, we're talking on the phone. I'm like, that's like insanely good quality. I'm like,
Yeah.
surely he's just done the thumbnail was like hell pristine.
Yeah. I was
And then the
thinking that as
animation
well.
is more like, obviously because it's hard to animate. It's harder to
Yeah.
animate than to draw stuff.
I was expecting him to like, it's meant to catch the attention, the thumbnail. So I was like, this will be like premiere. Like this will be like the best.
Yeah, like the best frame. But
No.
no,
Nowhere
it was,
near. Doesn't even take anywhere near the cake. He goes.
what's everyone's favorite?
So hang on. So you've sent it back. So literally, we're on the phone chatting.
Yep.
Then he sent it.
yeah.
He sent it
the
through.
point of the story.
Yeah, he just completely forgot to talk about it. So we're on the phone chatting. The thumbnail comes through, and we quickly chatted that, and we thought that was going to be the best of it. I went and had dinner, and we're sitting there. Me and Taylor were sitting there, and I was like, I think this video is going to come through, like now. And you sent it through to me.
Mm-hmm.
We sat there in grilled, like an AirPod in each, and tears. I was actually in tears. It was
so-
it's
Oh, yeah,
funny. I found it so funny because he went off script. He went like shit that we weren't even talking about. He
Because-
added and made it so much funnier than
The visual, the visual stuff is like funnier than, like the visual gags are funnier than what we're actually saying.
100%. My favorite part.
My favorite part, first viewing, it's got to be, when she'd gone off script, and then it's like, the script by Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, and it's in the bin. I was gonna say that was my favorite part as well.
My favorite was definitely the name badge.
The
bit.
badge stuff. That's what I was gonna. Yeah.
That was because if you haven't seen it, it's the everyday hero of
Yeah, it's
Wendy.
Wendy's everyday hero.
And it was
Macca's
turned into
worker.
a visual animation.
So based on that, like obviously the things take him a while to do, but they're fucking excellent.
Yeah.
So we're definitely keen if Mitchie is to keep going and
Keep
just
going.
put them out every now and then. So make sure that if you do watch it, comment, give him some support, and
Give him a thumbs up.
Make sure that you do go and follow the Blue Collar Dogs on Instagram.
Yeah, sub to them on YouTube. Follow them on Instagram.
Because he's an absolute jet, and we do want to get him some reward for his efforts. So make sure that you do that, and we will hopefully be doing up some merch stuff for him or for us in the next couple weeks, couple months, couple years.
And there'll be some blue collar dog features on there.
Yeah, 100%. We're definitely going to get a bit of Blue Collar Dog inspiration and give a bit of love to our man Mitchie. But yeah, it's been a huge week.
Keep it up, Mitchie.
2,000 downloads. And it's just going to go up and up and up. If you haven't bought stocks in the MacPack yet,
Get
fucking
on.
do so.
Get
I've never
on.
just quickly. I've never had more people comment, like whether they just text me personally or they're hitting up our page. Megan Murray has hit our page twice in the last 2 days. I took a screenshot.
Just DMs.
Yeah, so she shared us on her story like an absolute jet, and then she's gone and shared. She just sent me this one. She goes, "I'm obsessed with the MacPack podcast. I think I need to get therapy. I've been listening to it every drive for the last 4
Is that
days."
on her story?
No, she just sent
Oh, okay. I
she
was
just
gonna
sent that
say.
one into us. But yeah, I got Mace texting me, boys Snapchatting me saying they're loving like the new episode, loving
Well, I
season
think-
2.
Yeah, I think
So if anything, like we love that feedback, but tell your mates as well. Tell your friends. We know how
it is. We're here every week.
Yeah. We listen to it more than anyone. That's all Riley listens to. We've deleted everything else off your Spotify.
Exactly. The problem isn't whether or not the content's good. It's getting people to get involved. Content's golden all the time.
So, guys, let's fill them in on what we did last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday.
It was a pretty wild night by all regards.
It was. What happened, Joey? Tell us the prologue to this whole event.
The prologue.
Yeah.
So it goes back a couple of weeks, and there may have been slight references to it throughout the last couple of weeks of the pod.
Yeah.
It's the big chess tournament
Joey's
that's going
found his
on
love of chess
in WA.
recently, hasn't he?
You kept trying to crowbar your own
You just kept trying to get it in the potty.
Chess
Anyway,
card.
chess element into the pod, which we didn't.
didn't make.
Yeah, it was just
Didn't
like
appreciate
a
it
gag
much.
here or there, a reference to an obscure chess player.
Joe was foreshadowing us for months.
But now it is. Here it is on the run sheet.
Here we go. Joe's got his
chess
segment.
night.
Chess night.
Now, it wasn't easy to get it on the pod. First, I needed to make the grand final of a real-life chess tournament.
Which I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, you did. Surely. I didn't know it was at this high stakes.
Oh, the stakes were high.
I mean,
And they had never been higher.
All right, what was the major prize?
Well, there wasn't a prize. I
It was
guess
just bragging rights. It
What-
was
do
you were
guys
the
know what
smartest.
stakes mean?
You're the smartest of the group. That's at stakes.
to quote the creator of the tournament, when Jake asked him if there was a prize, and he said no, and he said, "Oh, I just sort of I think chess is fun anyway."
Fair enough. You don't need a prize to have fun at chess.
So it was a round robin. It was like a bracket. It was a March Madness, a March Chessness, as some might say.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it started off with
How many boys were in the comp?
I want to say it started at like 18,
Shit, that's a lot.
and then went to 9. Oh no, that doesn't work. It would have started at like 20, and then gone to 10, and then so it would have. There's about 20 of us in the
Yeah,
competition.
how would that work?
Less
Yeah.
math, more story.
So was it do or die?
Pen doesn't work.
Yeah, so you lose one game, you're out. Now there were different. That one doesn't work either.
Tell the fucking story.
There were different. So you could either play online, you could play a time game, you could play in person.
Yep.
It's up to whoever wants. So I get through my first 3 games. Well, I get my first 2 games. No offense to the boys, but they weren't that high stakes. They were early brackets.
Yeah.
Then I get to my 3rd game. Took a while to organize. You know, you need to set up a fair amount of time to play a big game of chess.
Yeah.
Finally happened. It was a Thursday night.
Was it? Oh, this is the semi.
This is the semi. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
We ended up playing. So we played online, but we also played on a Zoom call
Yeah.
for 2 reasons. One, because we both had a chess set up next to us, so that we can visualize the pieces in like 3D space,
Yeah.
which my opponent loves doing.
Yeah.
So we're both playing online. Both
Why do you need the Zoom call going?
Just
there
to
were
chat.
there were other people in the call.
Oh,
watching.
I was sharing my screen and they were watching it as well. It's hard because like
So there's 3. Hang on. So there's 3 different chess games going on in the sense that you're playing on your computer, he's playing on his. There's 4, and then you're playing. Were you playing on a fucking hard?
oh yeah, I had my one there.
And then he had as well.
Yeah,
Chaos.
What is this?
Anyway.
and there's about 6 people in the call watching.
Yep.
Which is about 6 too many, I would say.
I also found out that how long do you think chess games go for? I was assuming 15, 20 minutes. How long did this game go for, Joe?
An hour and 45 minutes.
That's crazy. Anyway, what happened? What happened in the game?
So I
Tell us the play-by-play. Joe moved
Please
his
don't
pawn to 6.
do nothing.
so I opened with e4.
Just tell us
Okay.
what happened.
So I ended up. It was a good game. Dylan is one of the best people I've ever played against.
Yep.
There were a couple decisions that he made throughout the game which weren't great. You know, the pressure had got to him. Another thing that was hard about it is obviously you got everyone in the chat watching,
Yeah.
but
Pressure's
they can't
on.
like.
Yeah.
It's hard because you can't even really react.
Wait, so they're just dead ass watching you
yeah.
for an hour and a half. For
I think they were probably doing other things.
That
You'd like to hope.
bloody hell.
But
Is there
like,
much chat going on?
No, you
well,
can't.
that's the thing because they can't
No.
be like, oh, good move,
It's cheating.
or like, oh, bad move, because then it's like you're influencing the game.
So you're
Yeah.
sitting in silence.
Um,
That's so fun.
and then so like
Mind
there was
game.
only one move that got like a big reaction. It was like a fork,
Yeah.
which is when
Oh.
so fork is when, for
was on.
example, you get your knight in a position where it can take both the king and the queen.
Iconic move.
So they have to move the king,
okay, yep.
and then you get the queen for free.
Yeah.
So I did my fork, got his queen.
You forked him up.
Great, exactly, yeah. Great move. And then from that, the tides were sort of over, but the game still went on for about another 40 minutes.
Fuck.
And then I emerged victorious.
Hell yes. Go, Joey.
So grand final day. You've talked it up for a little while. It happened like 2 weeks after the prelim.
Yeah, there was a lot of postponement. You think 6 people watching an online game is intense? How about...
It was a genuine
15?
crowd. There was like 15, 20 people there.
Yeah, like 20 people.
There
And this
wasn't
time,
20,
we
maybe
weren't
15.
playing online. We were playing on like a life-size...
Yes.
Chess set.
Sport. I thought he said Joe.
That's the Craig's residence of all places.
I thought Joe said that as a joke when we were on the way there. I was like,
The whole thing sort of sounds like a joke.
No, but it's not sick.
he was like a life-size thing, and then I was like, yeah, I'll be your king. Like, I was gonna stand on the board.
Like it's
for
Harry
it.
Potter.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, so it was... And it got dark. So the guy who I versed in the semi, they played their like...
little.
The like 3rd and 4th played for 3rd players.
Yep.
So he played before, and he's like notorious for having the longest game.
That shit went for like.
So
2
they played for
hours.
about 2 hours, and then it was dark by the time we played.
Real
And
dark.
it was like me standing there, Rory, my opponent, standing on the other side.
Rory, never met the dude. Very cool dude.
Oh, he's
I'd
cool.
met
I
everyone
hardly
else.
even like know it.
I'd
Did
met
you?
everyone else there before.
Except
Never
Yeah.
met this Rory kid. He's just like rocked out. He's just like, yeah, chess. I know how to play chess. Doesn't look
Doesn't
like...
look like a chess
Nah.
guy.
Not at
Nah,
all.
it looks like... you know-
crazy hair.
He
He was
looked a
wearing
little
like
bit
a-
like that dude. What movie did we see last night? He looked a little bit like
Jared Leto.
a little bit.
That
Oh,
one.
that's
Yeah,
facts.
he looks like... Yeah, he's got like long, like curly hair.
Yeah, cool
He-
dude. Good operator. And
Yeah, he
great
was-
chess player.
He was wearing a sleeveless shirt.
Like yeah,
Not like a singlet.
It was
like a shirt a shirt that had been cut.
Yeah.
And he's got like tattoos.
Like Bill Belichick
He was
rocking
like-
up to the chess game with cut sleeves.
Yeah.
He was like smoking. It's just like
yeah, he was punching
he's too
berries
cool
while he
to be
was
playing
fucking
chess.
checkmating Joe.
Yeah, and he
And lovely dude.
oh, so nice.
He's
Yeah.
the nicest. If I was going to lose to anyone, him.
Be him.
100%.
Yeah, it was good. We had everyone watching. We played the game. Our game went for how long did you say?
Half hour, 40.
Nah.
Yeah, 45.
It was approaching an hour, I think.
It went for a while, but yeah. Anyway,
Felt like a day.
Rory ended up taking the cake.
Damn.
Champion of the tournament.
Good on
It's a
you,
good
Rory.
Came
game.
in second place.
Do we know Rory's cert? No, we just leave it.
It was a good game. I enjoyed watching. I don't watch much chess, but that game was good fun. I must say.
It was good.
We were proud that you made it the journey, mate. Congratulations. Do you get a prize for coming second?
No, so there was no prize. Actually, so
I think you won
me,
for first. Why did you want
Rory, and then the guy who came third, Jack. He's the one who organised it.
second? Legend.
We were talking afterwards about we should have like we should have a cash prize next time. Obviously, the people who won are like
Come on,
keen
let's
to
have a
get
game.
it.
right,
And then
that's fair.
he was asking me. He was like, "Oh, like, do you have any other mates that play?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got like a couple who are, they like chess. They've heard about it. They're excited or whatever."
Yeah.
And Jackson's like, "Oh, are they any good?" And I was like, "Oh, like they're not great." And then Jake's like, "Oh, it'd be good to add to the prize
Yeah.
pool."
You don't want people who
Yeah.
are good when you're
We
playing
get some
chess.
trash
Yeah.
people buying it.
If you're going to buy in, you want people who are genuinely just going to buy in and then dip.
Bow out in the first round.
When's the second comp?
We don't know. It's in the works now. So
Are we going to do it?
if you're watching at home and you've never played chess before, I think the buy-in's only going to be $10. So it's still
Is
a good
that it?
experience,
Oh.
and you can learn and just come down and play.
And you can.
I don't know. All right, boys. AFL season is mere moments away.
It's almost
approaching.
back.
It is incredibly exciting to have the footy back.
Footy's back.
Last year,
The latest air horn.
I've never pressed it
ever.
before.
It's such a stretch for Joe.
last year was a little bit of a hippie one. A few crowds at some
It was
joints.
quite hippie.
Few-
Peace and love.
well, we had round one, and then there was no footy for 12 weeks. It
Was
was
it-
just like, yeah, that makes a heap of fucking sense.
It was
Well,
a
they
good
had
round.
was
though.
round one the no crowd, no
Yep,
sound,
yep.
no nothing.
And they were just like pumping random noise through
Yeah.
the thing, just like, yeah, that sounds fucking
This
terrible.
ep- This
That.
episode of football is filmed in front of a live studio.
Oh no! First round they didn't have anyone.
Yeah.
First round it was just like you could hear like they'd kick
Yeah,
goals
yeah.
and you could hear the ball just hit the seats. It's like that's just no atmosphere.
Sounds like the waffle.
What was worse than that was when there was no crowds and then you just had someone basically with the soundboard like we've got just pressing like a crowd noise.
They got like
pretty
someone
good,
kicks a
yeah.
goal and they just go. "Tudum-ts."
Also Melbourne, the home of footy. Like we've been a few times, keen to go like ASAP.
Jake loves Melbourne.
There was not a. I think there was like a handful of games played at the MCG last year, and
Oh no, so yeah,
like
they had it
just
way worse.
hopefully this year
We went to so many games. The
out
bubble.
here. Yeah, that was, you're actually tight out here. But yeah, incredibly excited for the new season. The Pies going to struggle a fair bit, I would imagine. They've basically gifted away their whole midfield for
nothing.
For fuck all. To be honest, we've just tossed our president under a bus. It's all happening. It's all happening at Pieland. Not much of it.
I'm
Good
excited.
news.
What I've got written down here, Jake, is that with the new season comes a new rule.
Oh, for fuck's sake! They're just doing everything they can to break the game.
And it's weird because from an outside perspective, it almost seems as if there's no rules
Yeah,
to the
legit.
game. So they got a new one. Tell us
So
about
now
it.
you got to stand like perfectly still on the mark. You can't. Where previously you're on the mark and then you can just you can walk back and forth. You can walk back.
Try and distract them, put them off.
You can walk side to side.
Do the jumping.
Yep.
Jumping around.
None of that
Get
shit.
your bum out, turn around.
None of that shit. You have to
360s.
where the mark was taken. You have to stand 2 feet square and just chuck your hands up like you're playing under eights. Like you're back at Oz kick.
Yeah.
So playing
What?
What is the reason behind that?
it's to make sure that bloke with the ball can play on quicker. Because there was a lot of if I'm standing on the mark, my man runs around the back.
Yeah.
No, sorry. So who gives a fuck? Essentially, if we can't switch. So what was happening was someone on their team would run
yeah.
around the back and we'd just switch who's on the mark. You can't do that shit anymore because that's fucking 50 meters, which is a huge penalty. That's on most grounds. That's basically 25% of the ground.
And you get when it's called, there's that momentum shift.
Yeah.
Everyone's ripping into them.
You go from defending on on a back 50 to being within scoring
Set
range.
shot.
And
Yeah.
so another thing, with this rule, so they need to stand in the spot. But what about
Maybe.
when?
Hang on. Go.
What about when they mark it and then they hell try to take it on the angle?
I love when Joe talks.
Yeah, have you ever noticed they do that?
What do you...
They
takes
mark
it on the
it
angle?
and then they're meant to be perpendicular to where they are.
We're using big words. Yeah.
And then they're hell try and swing it
Perpendicular.
around so they
A
get,
word I never thought would get used on the podcast. Perpendicular.
Joe's using Pythag
so
to
they
describe how
they try and get a
harsh
better angle and then obviously the man on the mark would just slide off so he's
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do any of that. Yeah, you can't do
so
that shit.
can they still go on the angle?
No, yeah.
The bloke with the ball can do whatever the fuck he wants by the looks.
And the other
if
guy's
you're-
just got to stand
Yeah, if you're on the
there.
mark, you might as well sit down, man. Sit down, pick some grass. You're out of the... It's like netball.
And you can't
like
even
netball,
what
you
if
can't
he wants
fucking
to
do
run
shit.
away and go back? He needs to stand.
No,
on
no,
the
you can't go back. There, one of the Freo boys at the intra club or at the Scratchy the other day.
Yeah.
Literally, so someone took a mark 30, 40 meters out, and I think it was Brennan Cox, not the sharpest tool in the shed, standing on the mark and did what he would normally do, just was on the mark. The dude went back, the dude wasn't even facing the goals at this point. Went back to take his shot, and Brennan just turned around and walked off to then come back to the mark. The moment he took a step back,
50.
Yep.
You can't even take a step back.
No, just 50 on the spot, and it was just what the fuck? Dude is now in the goal square, kicked a goal. It's gonna cost someone,
Yeah.
firstly, a win.
It'll be like when they first brought in the 6-6-6 rule.
Yeah,
And then
still
it
is.
was the start of every quarter or every time they do the ball up.
that hasn't
Just it was just chaos.
Doesn't really do anything.
Firstly, there was a lot of hoopla. It was whoa, we shouldn't do this. But the people who instigated the rule were no, it'll fix the game. It hasn't done as much as it hasn't impacted the game. It hasn't
Added value.
impacted the game. Yeah, if you're gonna bring in a rule, it's got to be for a reason.
Yeah.
Now we're just doing it for fucking luck. This probably isn't gonna change. It's not gonna change the game in a big enough way for it to be constituted.
Exactly. The difference will be
worthwhile.
people are just getting 50s that aren't really, they shouldn't be there.
Yeah, no one's gonna be even the new one where the 50 meter was if you don't get the fuck out of the way, so you give away a 50 meter, then you just got to, if you gave it away, you got to get the fuck out of the way because you just give away another one.
Yeah.
This exact same thing happened last year. It didn't improve the state of the game in any way, shape, or form. It
Yeah,
just meant
'cause-
that there was stupid 50s
Yeah, exactly.
that turned into 100 meters. That turned into, I think on one occasion it turned into 100. It's man, just what the fuck?
He had to start going back the other way.
Stop ruining the game.
The
That may be, we've discussed this during the week. Obviously, very sad news about Bruce Mac disappearing out of the...
That might be the reason he called it.
Yeah, he may have heard that news and gone, well, this shit's done. And just fucking, I'm out of here.
Fair enough. Actually.
No farewell, no fanfare for Bruce. He's just packed it up.
And sorry, for those who aren't, footy heads like the three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is he?
Bruce Mac is a Channel 7 AFL.
Caller.
What would you call him? Commentary.
Commentator.
Part of the commentary team. He's like he's probably the most well respected. He's the oldest statesman.
He's like the OG.
Yeah, he's like
Grandpa AFL.
he's
Papa
like
Smurf of the footy.
Yeah.
him and Dennis are like. Even if you don't like watch footy, even if you don't know anything about footy, you would know their voices.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's the same way in like the cricket commentary team for Channel 9. Like, it's a sound of summer for most people, especially my generation. Bruce has very much been that for like
The sound of winter.
essentially. He's hung him up. Dennis did so, I think 4 or 5 years ago now, but made it well known at the beginning of the season. He was like, "Yeah, no, I'm just
Big finale.
I'm going to call it. This is going to be my last year." So we got to do the whole thing, and then got to the grand final, and there was a bit of hoopla about it all. Bruce is just cold.
He doesn't like the clout.
Just gone now.
He's a humble
He's
man.
not about it.
Exactly.
You'll want to know how Brucey got involved? We'll finish
love to
this
hear it.
little AFL, this sports segment, which I know a heap of you
A story time with
fucking
Tamer.
hate that when we talk about sport.
They're like, "Oh, chess. This is the podcast for me."
we might bring back the multi for the footy season. We might bring it back. I'm going to be putting money on anyway. Might as well fucking join the punt. We will just quickly finish up with a little AFL chat with a little Bruce McAvaney story.
Yeah, and
Here we
so
go.
when is this story taking place? Set the scene.
All right.
Because he's pretty old now. So when did he start? He's always just been around since I've been alive. He's been like 50.
He was a young boy at the time, living in Adelaide, and he was a janitor.
And was he a janitor at like a footy stadium?
I don't know. Who gives a fuck whether he was a janitor? Who cares? A janitor's a janitor's a janitor.
I thought maybe it'd be
No
like
role, play your role.
like a Goodwill Hunting. Like he's out the back, he's sweeping, and he's like, "Oh," and he takes the mark, and he's and they're like, "Wow,
I don't
that
know.
guy's got it."
Voice.
I don't know where he's fucking janitor. Anyway, there was a race on down at Adelaide. If we're going to say that's where he was.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go. So he's got some money. He used to punt a fair bit. Have I already said that? I may have already said that. And he used to punt a fair bit, and he wants to go see the races in Adelaide on this particular day. So he's called in sick.
King.
Pulled a sickie.
G'day, boss. Not going to be a janitor today. There's a fucking race on.
Fair enough. Was he going to see one race or just wanted to be there?
I think he just wanted to be there for the culture. Now, for this example, you're going to be my friend, Riley. You're going to be Bruce's friend.
I'll be Bruce's friend.
And you're going to be Bruce's friend's friend.
Ooh,
Bruce's friend.
we're getting deep.
Okay, now, good role play. So Riley, Bruce's friend, comes over. They meet at the old track, at the old racer track,
Hey, Bruce.
and
He's in character.
and they just start chatting and whatnot. And Riley would introduce him to this other guy, right?
Hey, here's my friend.
Oh, hey Bruce, nice to meet you. I'm his friend.
And the friend goes. The friend's a caller at the racetrack, so he calls.
Yeah, like a commentator.
Yeah, he
That's
calls the
cool.
races. Very cool job. Got to speak very fast.
Yeah, gotta be
Oh,
quick.
so he's more like, "Oh, hey Bruce, I'm Riley's friend." Oh, that wasn't even that quick.
Anyway, and so they're chatting for a little bit, and he goes, "Oh, that's sick! Like, that's a cool setup."
That is pretty cool.
And the guy goes, "Oh, you should fucking come up and watch me call a race." And Bruce's like, "Oh, yeah, all right. Like, I'll come up." So he goes up.
Courtside for the calling.
Yeah, essentially. So he goes up and listens to this guy call. Just stands in the middle of in the back of the box essentially, and just listens to the call. And the dude does a great job, and blah blah blah. Doesn't really matter. And then Bruce is still standing there, and the guy goes, "All right, well, I'm gonna go get a pint." And so he chuffs off, and Bruce is like, "Oh, okay, cool." And he just hands the guy just hands him the headset and the mic and goes,
You're on.
"You call the next one." And he's like,
Right, yeah.
"Yep, more or less." Like having next to no knowledge, you like to listen to the races, so I guess you'd have
It's
a bit
like
of a culture as to
Going
what-
to Macca's and the guy being like, "Oh, I'm gonna nick off to have lunch. You can man the fryer."
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Sort of, but it's a little bit more public.
And a bit cooler of a job.
Largely, hey, shout out to Wendy. It's very public. It's a very public thing, and like if you butcher it, there's like probably would have been a couple hundred people.
Yeah.
maybe. Now I don't know.
It's like his boss was at the race.
Yeah.
He's listening
Hang
to
on,
it while
what?
he's training.
he's sort of janitor at the track.
His boss doesn't.
His boss does. Here we go.
His boss is the cleaner at a better place.
Anyway, so Bruce calls the race and whatnot, and absolutely dominates it.
As usual.
And then just the dude's like, "Man, that was sick. Come back next week." And Bruce's like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, man, just come sit with me and you can call races with me." And Bruce called work and said, "I'm now sick all time. Like I'm just forever going to be sick, man. I'm never coming
And
back
that
to
was
work."
it.
And he got that gig calling the races at, I think it's Adelaide for this example, is Adelaide.
It's gonna be
The famous Adelaide race.
And then
course.
he still calls races now on Channel 7.
as if that led on.
Called
to
the
like
footy
a
for
famous
fucking-
career.
Called the footy for years. He's called the Olympics for Australians Channel 7 coverage.
Yeah, that's correct. As if he had never done it before and did such a good job.
I genuinely
Unnatural. He was
Maybe he would like
Obviously,
do it
yeah.
at home when he watched.
I would imagine. Like, he used to listen to... I know he used to... When he was doing the janitor stuff, he
I
used to listen
listened to,
to
like,
the
the radio.
races as he was going.
yeah.
But yeah, if that lesson has taught you nothing else, it's just to make the most of the opportunities that you get given, and just never be afraid to have a punt, boys.
Fair
Never be afraid to have a sick day.
Never be afraid to have a sit day. Or to chuck on a 6-leg multi on all of the games this weekend, hey? Go the Pies. Straight in. Now, boys, welcome to the first edition of The Cost is Correct.
Here we are.
Now, last week, Joe, you took us on a bit of a journey to play one of the most terribly fragmented games I've ever been a part of.
Oh, hi, Mark.
And my God, boy, oh boy, the quality might not have been there. Similar to that of the moustache the moustache is coming off. Now, similar to the quality of last week's game.
I thought it went alright.
It was it lacked luster. So this week we've come back. We've got a fantastic new sound of the game.
Sound system.
We have a fantastic new costume, which you'll be lucky enough to see if you're on YouTube right now, and we have a fantastic accent by the sounds of things as well. Now, welcome to The Cost is Correct. It's played it's played eerily similar to the game called Price is Right, but it's obviously not called that. Due to
Who does that voice?
It's just meant to be that.
due to copywriting infringement. So now, basically, the game works simply. I'm going to provide the two of you with an object that I have purchased from Woolworths. Now, you must guess the cost of the product. Some would say the price, not us, not us. We would not say we would not say the price of the product. It is the cost of the product, and the closest to the correct price, cost. I mean cost. We'll get a point. My God, it's hot under here. This might be a one and done as well. Now, boys, you both get to guess now on this occasion.
We're running out of time on this song.
It's all right. We can loop it back. We can loop it back. Now, on this occasion, the youngest plays first to kick things off. So, the first object, Riley, will get to go first. And then after that, Joe, you obviously go first.
Yeah,
now, these are rules. This is how you introduce a game. Learn for next time, young man. Now, I will be doing the scoring, so no need to worry about that. And the music's up. We're going again. Here we go. Hey, we're back. So, the score will be there's no need to worry about the score. I will be worrying about the score. Are you ready to...
I know this is The Cost is Correct, not my fucking rose.
Are you ready to rumble, boys?
I am.
The first object on the cost is correct.
Is the sound going to play the whole time?
I'll bring it down a little. I'll bring it down a little bit. It's my ringtone. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the first.
Wait, so back to the rules.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's whoever's closest, can you go over?
Nah, you can do it's closest to.
All right, cool.
Closest to the number.
Alrighty, yeah. What do we got?
Closest to the cost. Not the price, the cost of the object. All right, to begin things, we have a fan favorite amongst all Australia. The bag's sticky. The bag is very sticky. A fan favorite amongst most Australians.
Oh.
The Jats Cracker.
Jats Cracker.
It's a standard box of Jats Crackers for those playing along at home. I can't tell you how big the box is. The box is bigger than my hand, and that is all you need to know. Riley boy,
How much?
what is the cost? Not the price. The cost of the Jats Cracker.
I'm gonna go $4.50.
Riley's gone $4. Write that down in case I forget.
$4.50.
And Joe, you get to guess. You get to guess second on this occasion, Joe, which is actually an advantage. I'm now working out after I've said it.
I think it's less than that.
Less than 420.
So I'm gonna go.
I said
he
450.
said 450. I feel like now I feel like 420 is the price of the cost.
Crikey! Now, are you going to guess? Guess quickly. The sound is running out again.
I'm going to go with 3. I was gonna go 1 cent under, but I'll play in the spirit of the game.
Good.
I'll go 350.
That's a fantastic point. No dog acting either.
It's a real game that treasures the honest.
All right, we might change the rules on the fly. Here we go. What did you say?
350.
350. The correct price. We'll go through them after. How about that? That would add an element of fucking surprise.
Oh, that's good fun.
Good.
Oh wait, no, we're not gonna find out.
And from now on, we're going to write down. I'm sorry to change the rules. This is very unprofessional, and you would have thought the rules would be decided by now, but
It's almost as if coming up with a game on the fly and then playing it for the first time live can be a little bit actually sort of challenging.
but it's fun.
So maybe we could cut the game after some slack.
Anyway, well, here we go. Now the second object.
Get ready for the sound again.
Second object. Thank you so much, sir. Here we go. It's all happening. It's all happening. It's been a long day. I went to the shops today.
Wait, you said you want us to write something else down. What was that?
The next object. I think that it's going to be.
Will be.
Which is the Bostik. The Bostik Blue Stick Collection. Now it's a multi-pack. You get 2. You get 2 in this one, which is incredibly exciting.
Ooh.
How much would we say
Joey?
the Bostik Blue Sticks are worth?
There's 2.
There's 2, which would
I'm gonna go
more than 1.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go $4.
So
what?
$4 for the 2. Right? No, don't say them. Just write them down. Don't announce them.
Okay, well that's fair. We both got
Well,
one.
no. I think it'll be good to announce.
I don't. Just write them down and
But
get
no
on
one's
with.
gonna know. The
the
show's
sh-
gonna be so boring.
Yeah, it'd be you saying.
You just
stuff.
saying.
Okay, that's a good point as well. Yeah, maybe say them. Say them.
Yeah. And if you guys are playing at home, have fun with it.
All right, Joe, you've gone with
$4.
Oh, incredible, Joe. And Riley, you've gone with.
Well, Bostik, is that a big brand? I'm gonna go.
Hurry up.
Seems cheap. I'm gonna go $3.50.
All right, good job. We're not sure. Okay, next one.
I feel like they're all around the same price.
They're all very similar. You can all buy them with less than, I think, $5. Now, this one here is a Gatorade. Hopefully a sponsor of the show in the near future. It's a Gatorade, no sugar, Glacier Freeze. Now,
Gatorade.
it's a 600ml bottle. It's an interesting color blue. And it's got no sugar. No sugar. It's worth more than there is sugar in there. It's not 0. It's it's worth more than 0. Here we go. How much?
What's 0?
0 is a cost amount. Here we go. Riley, guess for us, please. The 0.
I'm gonna go $4.50. $4.50,
ladies and gentlemen. And Joe, what are you gonna lock in? That seems high. Not gonna. It may be on special. The items I forgot to mention. It's how much they retail for at this moment. They may be on special. All right, quick disclaimer: the Gatorade is on special. It is way cheaper than $4.50.
Well, I'm gonna go. I'll go $2 just to make it interesting.
All right, what are you gonna guess again? You can guess again. You can because I didn't. You got extra information.
I'll go $3.50.
That's not cheap enough. All right, here we go.
How cheap is that shit?
It's cheaper than water. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, these have been opened.
Because no one buys the no sugar one? Anyway.
It might be. Okay, we have a 5-pack of PKs.
Okay, but
PK's Wrigley Gum, and this is a long game.
Are we going retail or is it?
No.
The number that's in there is how much we have to do.
No, for all 5. So this whole packet, the multi-5 packet of 5. How are you enjoying that being as close to you as?
I'm gonna go.
How much?
I'm gonna go $4.50.
Good call. Well, what about you, Riley?
I'm gonna go. I can't go the same.
That's not the game.
$4.25.
Okay, interesting, incredible. I think we should have probably guessed we should have told you the amounts as we went. But anyway, the last item, thank fuck, is the Hoyts branded Hungarian style sweet paprika.
Well, this one's sort of a shoe-in. It's one that everyone has. Everyone's buying all the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 190 grams.
Wait.
It's 100% Australian owned. And how much is it? How much is it, Riley boy?
Did I go last time?
No, you get to go
right.
now.
Okay. Paprika is $3.50.
Boy, oh boy. Joe?
I'm gonna go $4. All right.
All right, let's bring this one. Let's bring this one down. Here we go, boys. We started off with the Jets.
Can you do multiple?
I like the sound. This. Shut your face. I'll be in charge of the hosting. Thank you. You had your chance. Went terribly.
Jats Crackers. I went with $4.50.
And this is going fantastic.
Shut your face. Jets Crackers. Riley, you guessed first, and you went with a whopping.
$4.50.
That's way too high, Joe. How much? Oh. Oh, okay, the music's going off, and here we go. Riley, go again, just for the sake of the sound effect that I loaded. Here we go.
Jats Crackers, $4.50.
Oh. They're all not on the head. They're all gonna. And the winner of the Jets Crackers.
$3.50.
It's also incorrect, but they're all gonna be incorrect. But Joe, you won, because the Jets Crackers, ladies and gentlemen, were $3.20.
That's crazy. That's cheap.
Now, secondly, the
glue stick.
The glue stick. The Bostix Double Blue Glue. How much did you say, Junior Boy?
I went. Or should we go Joey this time?
Joe, all
I
right.
went $4.
That's $4. And Riley,
I went $3.50.
incredibly, you went really low on this one.
I was gonna go like around there.
And it was $6. So, Joe, Riley. It's 2-0 at the moment for those playing along at home. Number 3 was obviously the Gatorade, the sugar-free, hopefully sponsors of the show in next to no time, especially once they see the quality and the value that we've added to. Yeah, okay, next, here we go. It's the Gatorade Zero. It was on special. Which was mentioned.
You did hint at that.
Which was mentioned, I believe. Riley, how much was the Gatorade?
$3.50.
That's way too much.
$2.
It was an incredible $1.82 for the $1.82. Very specific.
$1.82.
Very specific. And you, Joe, again with the tick, and Riley gets the. Oh, it's not good news for young Riley boy.
Okay.
Now. Joe actually can't lose from this point.
That's the fun of it.
There we go. The next one was the PK, the five pack of PK gum.
Well, how much was it? How much did you put down?
How much, Joe? How much did you say? You're on the ball at the moment, Joe.
$4.50.
I went $4.25.
Riley's gonna win this one. It was $3. Could you believe it? $3. Good value from the team at P. If you want to sponsor the show, PK. Next one. Here we go.
Surely give me a tick for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you are.
What do I get?
You didn't get that one right. And finally, thank fuck, we had the
Hoyts.
Paprika.
The Hoyts Paprika, ladies and gentlemen. Riley, you guessed.
$3.50.
Nice guessing, Joe.
$4.
Oh,
It came in at
nail biter.
$3.80, which means Joe won. Oh, Joe won again. Joe won this installment of The Cost is Correct and not The Price is Right due to copyright infringement. Please, this one's sticking around. I can feel it. It might not be next week. It might not be the next. It's sticking around. Thanks for joining, and goodbye for now. Wave. Congratulations, Joe, for the. Congratulations. You don't get a pro. You don't get a pro. You can have the paprika. Do you want the? All right. Goodbye.
Transition.
And we got Jake back.
Good to have him back in the studio. Welcome back.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm still.
He blacked out for a second.
Did we enjoy the game?
Stop the accent. We've had enough.
The game was good.
I thought it was good fun.
I hope it's a good listen. I'm not sure. Normally,
It was fun to be here.
It's. I enjoyed it.
I hope. I felt like for a while that theme song was just like, even now I can still like hear it in my head.
Echoing. Hasn't left.
Junior boy, where are you taking us for your hardcore take.
Oh. All right.
Was that a stinger?
My hot take this week is that Steve Carell from The Office and Jim Carrey from The Mask
Same person.
From them.
look the exact same.
What?
The exact
I think
same.
because you know how they're popular. There are things in the world called doppelgängers,
Yeah.
Correct.
and so when someone resembles you, and for the longest time I've thought they look very alike.
All right. Photo of Steve Carell here. Photo of what's the other dude?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey here. These two people
At what
look
stage of their
look
life?
nothing the same.
I think they do. I don't know why, but
What-
I've just always thought it.
What made you think this? When did it occur to you?
Well, I was at a party on the weekend, and someone said something about
Flex. Just
Too many beers?
someone said something about one of them and the other one, and I was like, oh yeah, wait, that's right. No, because I got them mixed up. I said this person, and then they're like, oh no, I think you mean Jim Carrey, and I was like, oh yeah, but I do think they look very alike.
Mind
In
you,
what way?
you did a very similar thing only 7 days ago with Paul McCartney and Pete Murray.
And they don't look anything the same.
Maybe I need to get the eyes checked, but I think they're very similar. aren't
Is
they?
it they had
Eyes-
similar careers? They do similar styles
similar roles,
of work.
kind of?
They both do a bit of comedy, but they also have some serious roles.
They're funny guys.
Does
That's
Jim
what
Carrey have a serious role?
Yeah, like Truman Show,
Oh yeah,
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's a terrible
The
film.
Mask.
Spotless Mind, you think is
Oh,
terrible?
that's not great. Anyway, I've disagreed.
That's a hotter take than Riley's thing.
I don't think they look at all the same.
They're both middle-aged white men, brown hair.
Does
But like the facial structure.
Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon look more similar than...
Jimmy Kimmel looks like an older version of Jimmy Fallon.
And like less funny and worse.
Nah.
Can't change my mind. I think they look very similar. Doppelganger would be the word I would use.
Do you know
Who's a good doppelganger?
Natalie Portman and Keira Knightley?
Who's Keira Knightley?
Keira Knightley is in
Again with the faces. All right, so Keira Knightley here and Natalie Portman here.
So Keira Knightley is in.
Write that down.
I will.
Keira Knightley is in Love Actually,
Yep.
and Natalie Portman is in.
No. Hope she's not
Oh, that's
listening.
the thing.
Hope
No, I'm
she's
thi-
not listening.
She's not in Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean is Keira Knightley,
Of the
but they look the
Caribbean.
same.
Oh.
She's in like.
She's a big fan
Leon
of the show.
Professional.
Don't disrespect.
She's in V for Vendetta. They look exactly the same.
V for Vendetta. Damn, that's a classic.
I don't know who looks. I don't have any good like famous
Doppelganger.
Well,
doppelgangers. What about
you
me
do
and
have your doppelganger, which was a rejected segment that I put forward months ago.
which we might readdress. Should we?
Should we just do it now?
Let's put fuck it. Let's put his face here
oh my god.
and explain to him. Explain to everyone, Joe, who this
So
this man here is. I'll just sit nice.
it was
There
in
we
the
go.
it was at the finals, hey,
It
when the
was.
and it was at the MCG, or maybe not the MCG because they were still in COVID time or whatever. But it was over.
It was the grand final at the Gabba, or I think it was the grand final. Or
Oh, it was the grand final.
No, it wasn't the grand
Or
final.
maybe it was the prelim.
Yeah.
So it was Richmond playing.
No, it was the grand final. It was
And there was a
100% the grand
guy.
final.
There was a guy sitting, like basically, pretty close to the field. Anyway, the camera zooms in on him. He looked eerily similar to the host of the Cost is
Yeah,
Correct.
He
A
did.
thicker
Actually, now that
mustache.
you make mention to it, I've never met the host of the Cost is Correct.
So he was wearing glasses, I think. He had the mustache, and he was wearing full Richmond gear, and like. So people had sort of he became a bit of a meme because he kind of looked like the villain sort of in Where's Wally?
Oh, true. Because he was
Yeah,
wearing
because
the
he was
yellow
wearing
and
like Where's
black.
Wally sort of kit, but like the yellow and black.
So if anyone has a Richmond kit, I could chuck that on, and we could do a genuine. We could invite him on the show. He could sit here.
And then and Jake looked exactly like it. Like he was getting tagged in it. He put it up onto the story.
I put up an Instagram story and asked the people, all of them,
Every person.
whether or not I looked like this person.
And what'd they say? They said, yes, of
I
course.
think there was 2 people that said I didn't, and one of them, I think it was Mum. I think Mum was
Fair enough.
It was
one of them. She was like,
it was pretty
"You're
crazy.
more handsome than him." Okay.
And then I have my doppelganger.
Joe's doppelganger.
Did I not send you? So it was sent to me by 2 of my friends. It
Oh,
was this
that guy
TikTok
from TikTok.
of
All right, we'll put that video here.
So
Mate, you got a lot of work to do this.
It's not the first guy. It's the guy getting out of the car now.
Yeah, wait for him. There he is.
So it was like
What was
a
the
guy
video?
from Game of Thrones or something. Some actor. He's like in Maze Runner as well.
Yeah.
It's like him getting to the red carpet. So it's not him. It's his like
Yeah, it's the
entourage.
dude
One of
who
the guys
gets
in his
out,
entourage
Dude that looks scared
Yep.
of car.
looks exactly like me.
It's pretty bang on. Who looks like you?
Actually, I have a funny story about this.
Jim
So the
Carrey.
place I was staying at Levers was Sandy Bay.
Yeah.
And well, we got there, and then on the first night, I got there kind of late because I was getting my wristband and stuff. So I got there during the night.
What a
Everyone else
guy.
got there during the day. And then one of my mates ran over to me. I think it was Cheesy. Cheesy ran
Shout out to Cheese, big fan of the show.
Cheesy ran over to me. He's like, bro, there's a guy in that house that looks exactly like you. And I don't think he looks
When
like
someone
me.
says that to you,
He's got like a dotty moss, but same kind of hair.
when someone says it to you, you're just like, oh, I hope this guy's like I hope he's a looker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
And the worst thing was, he wasn't really a looker. I mean, he was doing alright for himself. He wasn't like me, but like, I mean, I could see and then he took a photo of him in the line at Levers, and then so I'll put that on the screen now.
It's just a gallery of photos. Can we put okay? Just to finish up, can we get a picture of Steve? What's his name? Steve Carell.
Yep.
The other Jimmy
Jim
Carrey.
Carrey.
We've got Natalie Portman,
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley, me and the dude, Joe
Me
and
and my TikTok guy.
Joe and the TikTok guy on a freeze frame, and then Riley and his man here. Make
Cool.
sure you tune into the YouTube channel because that would have made no sense to any of you otherwise. All right, fellas, we're going to wrap up this week's episode of the MacPack Podcast like we do on every episode of the MacPack Podcast without Everyday Hero. Now, this week, I'm going to take the reins. Giddy up.
Jakey takes the reins.
Now, my commute to Freo. I often mention the commute to Freo. Enjoy the commute to Freo. It's quite relaxing. It's quite nice. And I listen to a few poddies on the way in. Now, on this occasion, I go all the way down South Street, like I mentioned last week. Coming towards the end of South Street, there is a pharmacy. I think it's like 7. Is it 7-Eleven? What pharmacy?
Yeah,
777 pharmacy. Down on South Street, hell deep, real close to Freo.
Yep.
Now, on this occasion, this happened early... Would have been like late last week, actually.
Yeah.
And we're sitting at a set of lights. It always gets busy, and there's a lot of time to just like observe what's going on.
Bit of street watching.
Yeah, and chuck your window down while it's not raining. Have a little geeze. And I noticed the pharmacy is on a bit of a triangle, like in the sense that it comes to a corner point, right? So the pharmacy is on this side, and it's on this side, right?
Ooh.
It's on the
Yes.
corner, so it's on either side.
Yep.
Now, I'm sat at that semi-intersection, and there was an elderly gentleman walking one way, and a young, relatively tall guy, would have been maybe 30,
Yep.
walking the other way.
Yep.
We got a 30-year-old. We got an old guy.
And the old guy was walking like relatively slow, like a bit of a limp, mainly due to age. I don't think he'd hurt himself. I think he was just like hurting
Old.
because he was like 80.
Yep.
The other
Arthritis.
guy is like tall, as I mentioned. He'd be like 6'1", 6'2".
That is
Very gangly, very stick
A
figure.
resemblance of me.
Sort of. But he had a real pep in his step. Like he was really quite happy with what he was doing.
more than
and
6 foot.
And the kicker was he was wearing headies similar to what we're wearing now, like the big over the top type units,
Yeah.
right? Which I thought was like pretty cool. And he was sort of like giving it a bit of the dance stuff as he was going around the corner.
He's boogieing.
Yeah, he was obviously listening to some cool jazz and just like giving a bit of energy as he's going.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen the two. They haven't seen each other at this point because one's walking one way, one's walking the other way. And I have basically the best spot on the field.
Yep.
Bruce McAvaney would have been so proud. I had the best bloody view.
We got a tall guy coming down with headphones. We got an elderly man with a limp.
That's actually pretty good.
And then
What are you doing next weekend? Fall back.
And then I was thinking they're gonna
Cross paths.
yeah. And
Yeah.
most people, in my 24 years of experience, would cross paths, and sadly, not many people say g'day. They just they're either on their
Yeah.
phone or they're just like doing their own
Yep.
thing. They don't really pay any attention. Old man didn't have a phone.
Fair enough.
Young dude just had his music and he was just like jazzing, just popping. And they've both like walked around the corner at the same time. And sort of like, they were both looking out. They were both observing the world the same way as I was.
Yeah.
And the dude who was jazzing like looked at this guy and just like gave him this look and was just like, hey.
He finger gunned it.
Yeah, he just was like, hey. And just like kept walking. And the old guy like wasn't really paying much attention. Just was like, oh, like they did like a thumbs up and then like, you know how when you think a conversation is going to happen and you sort of turn and like follow the person?
Yeah.
He sort of like,
This is the
Gotta
old guy? Or
maintain
the old guy, because the young guy was like coming in with a fair bit of energy and just like pop, 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 and then just saw the guy and goes, hey, just like, hey, go on, just like kept walking like that.
Yeah.
And the old guy, I don't know if he was like half taken, I think he was more taken aback that this
Fair
guy
enough.
just like came with such
Such
energy.
gusto.
Yeah, like this young, rejuvenated unit with the headies on. He was just like popping around at about 6'3".
Yeah.
And the old guy just sort of like, oh, and just like looked, and you could tell in that exact moment, because chances of me watching that interaction, I don't reckon anyone else at the intersection
Yeah.
would have seen that. I seen that. You gotta be looking out for these everyday heroes,
You
alright?
do. They're
Now-
everywhere.
The old dude was obviously taken aback. Like most people would just be like, "Oh yeah, that's crazy," but that obviously impacted that old guy's life. And when you get to that age, your amount of
Connection.
probably connections or interactions on a day-to-day basis dwindle. It's not like when you're at school, you meet your 40 friends, you go to school and like 100 other people in your year group and then 1,000 at school. When you're that age, you might see your wife. If she's dead, you might not see anyone, right?
Oh my God.
Jesus.
That was
It's the harsh truth.
that's where we're at.
That's it.
And you could tell he was taken aback by the energy in this dude because he sort of like walked past him, acknowledged him, and then like turned, like did a genuine 90-degree turn, and just sort of like looked at him and was just like, and just nodded, like did a bit of good dude, and then like
Affirmation.
he didn't, the strut that the old guy had improved. He didn't have as much of a limp. He walked with a bit of
spring in his
a little bit of a pep to it. So it's an interaction as small as that. It's a simple "how you going?" It's a simple smile. It's a simple nod.
Simple finger gun.
Don't be afraid to just basically say g'day. You can improve someone's day. Who knows what would have been going on in that old man's
Exactly,
life.
yeah.
This
If
young
he's
dude,
coming out of the pharmacy, he's probably not well.
this young dude's feeling himself. You can spread happiness with a smile, with a "how you going?" and most importantly with a finger guns and a click.
It's classic.
All right, fellas, that brings us to the end of episode 23 of the MacPack podcast.
We did it.
Which
That's
means
it.
next week is 24, which is mighty exciting.
Huge number.
It's been an absolute pleasure to sit back and chat to you once again. This
Always
is season 2, episode 2, and we thought we'd just quickly finish up the episode by giving a personal shout out to everyone that's gotten in contact with us during season 1 of the pod. If we have left your name off, you either haven't told us that you listen, or we've just
forgotten.
clean forgotten you, and we apologise. But get in contact with us. Just fling us a message on Instagram or, I don't know, MySpace. Or can you do messages on TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bloody do it on there as well.
Let us know.
And we'll be 100% sure to do a revisited episode, a revisited version of this next week with all the additions.
Drop some names, Jakey boy.
Let's go. We got Michael Craggs, Alex Cheese, Cody Ritchie, Taylor Pym, Olivia Allen, Angus Donaldson, Bradley Pang. I always butcher this. Andrea Keane. Ben Wright, Braden Reed, Tommy Corkill, Tommy Meat, Adrian Marsagalia, Melvin Ding, Liam Rafferty, Daniel Salio, Scotty Sanderson, Janine McKenna, our Uncle Dave, our Auntie Angela,
Queen.
Covella,
Covey!
Covey,
Dog.
Joey, your list is a little bit shorter. Sharan Vida.
Something like that.
Nice. Maddie Carroll, Eleanor Lines.
Yep.
Emmett Padman, Teague,
Teague Rosado, Kefren
Kefren Tran,
Oh,
India and Ollie, Eddie,
Edu.
Sachin Jane, Cozzo, Jackson Donaldson, Josh Sy, and Riley Wilson. We
And
also
Howie.
have Charlie Ritchie
Go shout
listens.
Oh yeah, she's like Charlie, and I think Blaze has listened as
Yeah,
well.
I would back.
We got to shout out Howie as well. Howie shares us on his Instagram story.
Oh, Howie the
Oh,
king.
Howie,
Your
yeah.
mate Howie. Yeah, he's a jet.
We've also got Leonard Lee potentially.
Leonard Lee, yes. Shout out to the man, Leonard Lee. Have we forgotten about him?
Possibly.
Have we forgotten about anyone else?
Cherry?
Cherry. How have we forget about Cherry?
Don't know.
Bang, Cherry.
So many fans to keep up with.
Oh my God,
we love you.
We love you all. If we haven't mentioned you, we're sorry. As you can tell, there's quite a few to rattle through, and we've literally just done this 10 minutes before we stepped in front of the camera. But yes, it's been an absolute pleasure to present to you season 1 and now season 2. Thank you. You're officially our day ones. So if your name wasn't read out and you want to be considered a day one, we're going to put this in a nice tight document, aren't we, Joe?
Yep. This is the last chance to be a day one.
So make sure that you let us know that you weren't mentioned, and we'll quickly just add a little addendum to the Google Sheets, and we'll be sure to give you a shout out next week on the podcast. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Always is.
Please make sure to stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to
Go give your mum a hug.
ciao for now, but not forever.